everybody? This is Trey. Wanted to hop on and share something with you all. I've been gone for quite some time. And as always, when I take my hiatuses, you all know that I'm out here. I'm trying to be about my Father's business and just taking care of business. I'm inside and outside of the church. So, yeah, I've been gone for several weeks, but I don't always tell or show everybody what I'm preparing. But you best believe I'm always in the kitchen, amen. So I did want to share a quick progression that came to heart the other night while I was just in devotion and meditation. As I shared with you all before, I don't typically get out a pen and a pad and try to write like I'm going to write a worship song today, a praise. I'm going to write. No, I'm typically meditating or thinking or praying or praising, worshiping, whatever you want to say, somewhere out by myself, and I'll begin to hear stuff, and I just walk in here and get by the keys and throw something to it. So this is one of those instances, and I do want to share with you all to apply wherever applicable in your own worship dynamic. I know sometimes instructors can tell you, well, this is the such and such type of chord of progression, and you play it here, but I'll leave it to you to be guided by the Spirit and by your own church dynamic, your own culture. You know, different things for different folks. All right? In the key of D flat, you may want to look at it as B flat minor, just depending on how you end the song. But the movement is simple. We're going from the 6 to the 1, 4, back to 6, to 5. Okay. So if you know anything about theory, typically on the 6, that would be a minor chord. On the 1, that would be a major chord. Let's play it. D flat minor. So we went to the D flat. That would be a D flat major. We went to the G flat. G flat major. Back to the 6. B flat minor. And then to an A flat major. Okay. So everything is major except the 6. Okay. That 1, 4, and 5 you're going to learn as you mature and learn your theory that 1, 4, and 5 is where you would typically play some type of major chord. Okay, but we don't just want to play it so traditionally in Bach style with a simple triads, okay? Excuse me, so this is the progression. Now, I tend to play this way because at my church we don't have a bass player, so sometimes I might run a split and just run bass in my left hand and keys here, or run a stack. But I often just play straight piano with just heavy-handed voices in my left hand. And what these boil down to is open triads, basically. I incorporate some different things, but these are basically just open triads. So that first chord, as we said, is on the 6, the B flat minor. I'm still playing a B flat minor chord, but I'm taking the 3rd from that chord and putting it on top. Okay? You can hear the difference. Okay? So let's break down the left hand first. And I'm playing in an arpeggiated style, if that's a word. I'm playing arpeggios. Basically, that means you just roll from the left to the right. Okay? B flat, F, D flat. On the 1, I'm simply playing the 1 and the 5 of D flat, so that's D flat and A flat. So back to that arpeggio for the 4. G flat, D flat, and B flat. We go back to the minor. Then lastly, we have another major on the 5. Now here, you can see even my hands aren't quite long enough to get to that C. So we have a A flat major chord. We want to take this 3rd away and put it on top. So if your hands aren't long enough, as mine aren't in this scenario, you can use use your sustain pedal and just kind of roll over to it, sustaining this E flat, and grab that C. And then I just kind of toggle between the E flat and the C. Okay? And as a pianist, it's good. It really depends on whatever your flavor is. I've tended to gravitate more towards what they would call a classical, contemporary style. Of course, I have my gospel-y feel too, in which gospel encompasses so many different genres with so many different styles. But I tend to gravitate more that I'm getting older, if you want to call it 33 old, I gravitate toward the styles that are the simplest and the cleanest. I mean, there are not a lot of advanced chords and altered chords and reharmonizations and riffs and things that really detract from the message of the overall song. I mean, that stuff is cool, I guess, if you want to be a soloist and doing your thing that way. But when you have a whole band, you have a choir, and ultimately when you're trying to put the focus on Christ, you want people to experience Christ, you just can't be doing too much. I'm just going to put it out there, bro. Sister, you just can't be doing too much. So I tend nowadays to gravitate toward just clean, melodic styles. And I use a lot of expression, attack, and again, arpeggios. Okay, so we have our left hand. In the right hand, we need a lead in, B flat C to the D flat. And once you get to the D flat, add the F. So we're still playing a B flat minor, but we are omitting the 1. Okay, and we're going to do that for all the major chords. Okay, so that's your B flat minor, omitting the 1. Then I'm going to a D flat major without the 1, without the D flat. What I did was grace note from the E flat to the F. Okay? So lead in. So that's A flat and F. Okay, same thing for the G flat major. You got C sharp on the bottom, and you're going to grace from A flat to B flat. Okay, almost home, go back to the B flat minor. And we're going to end the same way. We have an A flat major, that's E flat on the bottom. You're going to grace from B flat to C. Let's try it all. Okay. So while we're holding that 5, that's when you're playing this. You have the strumming motion going on. Okay. To get back around to the start of the measure. So it works like this. You're going to lead in. When you get to the D flat, that's when you come in with your B flat bass and you play your arpeggio, okay? And the 1. Same thing. So on the 1 of G flat, play your chord. To the 6, again. To the 5. Strum it here. Did you hear that? I put the 4 in the left hand. So that basically makes that a G flat major 7. But I'm just opening it up, okay? So the only difference on the 6th, instead of playing the F, I play the G flat. okay? And then as you heard in the intro, I actually closed it out on the 7. And I tend to do that. I don't always go back to the 1. I like to resolve on 7s and on 4s just to leave a little bit of tension there. Not always, but just sometimes. So again, from the 6. So you go to your 5 chord the same way, but in your left hand, you're going to play that 7. That's C, A flat, B flat. All right, and that's basically it. The only thing, the only extra thing that I would do, and I don't really have the effect on here, but it's good to play this on top of some kind of pad, but also with some kind of layer of strings, okay? All right, thank you guys for watching. I hope that's something that you can add. Keep on playing and practicing, and remember, it's not what you can play, it's why you play.